one. Ding Ning, a bit more tricks up her sleeve. Slightly slower game, though. Very solid in the blocking on the backhand side. The first pendulum serve gets the point for Swing Xia to start off this best-of-7 women's singles final. There's that backhand block, using the topspin, adding a little bit of side spin to it with the wrist. Makes the ball jump out wide to the forehand of Swing Xia. That's a break for Swing Xia. Receive that comes up that high. Still a lot of spin, and it's not easy to take a high backhand. Uncomfortable shot with the body in the way for the backswing. Look how quick these forehands are off the bounce, and as soon as it opens up to the backhand side, there's Swing Xia's coach, Zhang Qin. She goes with the backhand and plays it wide. That ball's just a millimeter higher. It goes over the net post and clips the back edge of the table in the corner. Even the sound of the contact is a little different for Ding Ning than we're used to. Again, with different equipment, different vibrations, different sounds. Beautiful backhand, just a rip of a shot. The first towel break of the game, Swing Xia up 5 points to 1. To generate that much power at that angle from a push that's a little bit above net height shows incredible skill out here. Now this is where Ding Ning can be most effective, is taking the ball early off the bounce, changing up the angle from parallel to wide out. And that is a picture of Ding Ning, a photograph taken. And also with experience, Ding Ning's coach in the corner. Neither player in the corner, I'm sorry, neither coach in the corner for the players. Has been a lot of coaching shift in the Chinese national team recently. Big point for Swing Xia to hang on to her lead by 3. Being up 5-1 and then suddenly 6-5, or 5-4 rather, would change the momentum, maybe the mentality of the 16-year-old out here. So I feel that Ding Ning, with experience, will be changing up the pace and placement for a lot of these shots, trying to break the rhythm of Swing Xia, make it a little less comfortable for her to get the opening attack. We saw this with Timo Boll versus Harimoto yesterday, sometimes allowing the first attack to play for placement. The follow-up shot can be very effective. Ding Ning so steady again with that backhand block. Try to keep the serves half long where she can.
5-6.
Look at this placement. It seems that Swing Xia can go anywhere. She can play down the line. She can come around the ball. Really gets up in the air for this. Wouldn't recommend that for most people, but comes around the outside of the ball and still retracts the racket back to center right away. Quick recovery for such a full swing. Covers the middle with the forehand there. Saw a little apology, maybe the top of the net. 1.5 years between the coach and the player. Zhang Qin working with Swing Xia. Deceptively heavy underspin. Now one thing, I mean, there's so many different skills that Swing Xia has, but the racket speed she comes into the ball with also applies to her serve. Outstanding coverage. Swing Xia gets it back on top of the table with the backhand, the opening forehand attacks. She's so fluid and comfortable on the move. 5 game points for 16-year-old Swing Xia. Oh, and finally a shot to finish it. Ding Ning, inside out forehand. That ball's not coming back, and there's Li Swin, the coach. So many balls quick off the bounce from Swinging Sha. Finally, a risky ball that goes even wider, exiting the side of the table. That's what it's going to take from Ding Ning. This is a signature of the left-handed player with the long wingspan. Two game points saved from Ding Ning. You don't see Swinging Sha look too flustered, but her breathing there for just a moment. You could see a little bit of stress settling in at trying to exhale it out. 3 game points left for Swinging Sha. The timing seems a bit broken. The focus we've seen on a few occasions here. Swinging Sha in the rally. Instead of playing the wristy shot and coming over the ball quite as much, left with a mid, sort of a punch shot, 80%. It looks like we might get a reverse tomahawk here. And a service error. It's one way to go down. Ding Ning's facial expression said it all. She tried, but it's 11-8. Swinging Sha takes game 1 over the world champion and Olympic gold medalist Ding Ning. We'll be back for game number 2 right after this. Back for game number 2, Swinging Sha, the 16-year-old in red at the top of the screen again. Only a week ago getting her real first experience playing in the women's singles adults events. Had been playing in junior events for some time. Playing in the Chinese Super League on the same team as Chun Meng. Out here leading 1-0 over world number 1. And the forehand flip, dangerous once again. There are a lot of players waiting in the wings for the Chinese national team for the opportunity to become part of the Big Four. Power like this from the forehand, just amazing. Coach Zhang Qin watching very patiently but supportively from the side. The angles, she's pinning Ding Ning. When she gets this opening loop and Ding Ning starts chasing, on the wide wings, Ding Ning's blocks don't come back quite as fast. They're a little bit more defensive, less compact, as you would imagine. A little bit off the top of the net from Ding Ning. Not come down off the top edge of the racket. Swinging Sha over the table so quick. She can flip on both sides. She can loop from both sides. We've seen the power from the backhand. We've seen the misdirection in the placement on that very fluid forehand. Many have compared Swinging Sha's game to Waldner's. You can't get a much better compliment than that. One of the greatest players of all time and considered to be the greatest of all time by many. And at 16 years old, a player from the Chinese national team, creative, playing against world number 1, 11 years her senior. Ding Ning hangs sturdy for the top of the net recovery to block the next loop. Swinging Sha trying to change it up with the slower backhand at the end. So while Swinging Sha hasn't lost a game yet in the main draw, beautiful look there, the heavy side spin and slight topspin. She's going to pick up more topspin with every bounce on the table by the time the receiver gets it. As you can see here, Carries up and out. One of very few players to do the reverse tomahawk serve. Kenta Matsudaira as well. Well-placed serve, kicking near the back edge of the table. Now remember, I talked to you before the match about the air conditioning. Sun-Ying Sha is on the side that's a little bit more difficult to play right now. The advantage should be to Ding Ning. The placement right at the back edge of the table. You could even see the ball move because of the air of Ding Ning's racket coming past it. And one big forehand, not enough. Sun-Ying Sha fast to anticipate and cover that wide forehand shot. She chases but quickly regains balance to recenter herself. Footwork, maybe the key ingredient. Of course, there's so many different factors that makes China ahead of the rest of the world. Last shot most powerful, but it's a bit low into the net. The aggressive drives from Sun-Ying Sha. Now it's interesting, Ding Ning, far the fan favorite here with the long career. Now that's a combination I don't think anyone would see coming. Fast long serve to the backhand and one more shot from the backhand down the line even deeper. It's a very high risk set of shots. Right idea, but the reach is out in front. Wide angle opportunity for the forehand of Sun-Ying Sha. Ding Ning in the lead now by 1 point. Softer shot from the backhand, plays it a little bit more cautiously from out in front, still taking it early. But as Ding Ning backs off the table, a slower shot breaks the rhythm, leaves Ding Ning an uncomfortable ball. Looks like maybe another reverse tomahawk here. Beautiful shot to the short side. Ding Ning playing a smart, risky shot. At the very last moment, you can see reverse. Tough to tell which side of the racket she's going with. Straight up service point. Ding Ning with 2 game points to take the first game against Sun-Ying Sha for anybody in the main draw. Heavy spin shot with the inside-out forehand to finish it. It leaves Ding Ning frozen like a deer caught in headlights out there at the table. Look at this one more time. Shot to the middle gets Ding Ning standing up for a moment, moving just a hair to the backhand side of the table. Sun-Ying Sha goes the other way. Try to get inside the mind of Sun-Ying Sha. Try to get inside her mind, but her mind is outside the box, so it's tougher to find. Top of the net and just long. Game 2, Ding Ning doing what no one has done since the preliminary rounds of this tournament, taking a game off of Sun-Ying Sha, and it's tied up 1 game apiece. We'll be back for game 3 right after this. Back for game number 3. It's tied up 1 game apiece. Now, while one might think that Sun-Ying Sha, after losing a game, might crumble. She was down 1-3 last week in the Japan Open final before coming back to win in Game 7 against Chun Meng. Ding Ning with the backhand counter action. Near the table, very effective. Again, a lighter racket now. Slightly faster strokes, keeping the racket a little bit higher. Ding Ning with the tongue out for a minute, licking the lips, saying, okay, okay, no problem. Hey, it's us. Hey, hey, hi ourselves. What a difficult receive. Sort of like a slow loop somewhere between a forehand flip and an opening loop attack. Ding Ning with the service placement, though, to deter the powerful opening receive. And now deep to the middle of the table. After getting Sun Ying Xia in over the table, the patterns Ding Ning is playing are very smart. Whoa, corner for corner. Sun Ying Xia sending it right back as wide as can be. Even the coaches want to see the replay of this. That one was too good. Ding Ning inside out, and Sun Ying Xia running reaches it. Ding Ning still reaching, giving everything she can to try and cover this shot. Looking to lob it back up. Ball was off the top of the net now. Never hits Ding Ning's side of the table. Ding Ning's point. Just goes to show you how fast Sun Ying Xia's shots are.
Net 4-2.
Heavy underspin on the pendulum serve, but subtle contact from Ding Ning. And Sun Ying Xia getting a little bit of fan action here from the crowd. Nice to hear. Ball dangles too long off the forehand side. Sun Ying Xia with a nice full swing to start off the point on the receive. And now she's got two serves here. Chance to tie up the game if she can convert them both. Well-placed receive, topspin deep to the backhand corner from Ding Ning. Rushing Sun Ying Xia's third ball attack. Parallel forehand from Ding Ning. Now Ding Ning, I would say her creativity is one thing that has kept her on top of the world at #1. For a while, Liu Shiwen, it seemed, had a winning record head-to-head. A break off the top of the net as Ding Ning runs away with this game, a 5-point lead. But the creativity and the unpredictable patterns from deep serves to inside-out forehands and parallel shots. Sun Ying Xia not able to get quite as comfortable as she was in Game 1. Top of the net again for Ding Ning. And this was some serious risk. Fast, long serve out to the forehand from Sun Ying Xia. Not afraid to take a chance. 7 game points for the Queen of Hearts, Ding Ning. Heavy topspin, the opening backhand. We saw Ding Ning put her hand on her shoulder there. And in doubles, she was also loosening up that left shoulder. As women's doubles champion once again. Have to wonder if there is a little bit of injury or fatigue. The spinny opening backhand, 11-4, a dominant performance in Game 3, and Ding Ning goes up 2-1 over Sun Ying Xia. We'll be back for Game 4 right after this. Back for game number 4, Swing Sha trying to stay dry out here. Ding Ning. Quite interesting. Again, that shoulder, the left shoulder, looking a little bit tense. But again, she's been able to play the backhand, which should be less demanding on the shoulder. Quick play in near the body. Big point for Swing Sha after an 11-4 loss in the last game. Beautiful inside-out forehand, the signature once again. Now with the wingspan of Ding Ning, if she can set up this third ball just like that, half-long serve, getting Swing Sha to question her decision on the receive. When you're playing defensively, you need to take the ball early to keep it short. Very difficult to play it from the baseline. Excellent counter, turning from the middle. Swing Sha getting the forehand back into play. And while we've seen her come back from down 1-3, the determination of Ding Ning is unrivaled in the women's game. Again, back-to-back world championships as the singles world champion, the gold medalist, the Olympic Games in 2016, and a finalist in 2012 in London. Talk about experience and determination. Sometimes it's the tough losses. It could have been the 2012 Olympic gold medal match that really gets someone driven to come back even stronger, to work harder and make sure they finish the job. Power and placement deep to the backhand corner. Swing Sha within 1 point. The amount of, I'd say her hand is so fast. The racket action from the middle of the table. She's very loose, Swing Sha. It always looks like she has a loose grip of the racket between the shots in the rally. Sometimes you'll see her change to push and then drop the racket for a loop, change her mind twice before she hits the shot and still come up with a powerful ball. Big point for Ding Ning in the backhand-to-backhand rally. The Ding Ning fan club definitely more sizable, no question, than the Swing Sha fan club right now, at this point in time. Oh, beautiful inside-out forehand to finish the angle. Swing Sha not afraid to take these risks. Play power right into the middle, gets Ding Ning standing up. This is a pattern we saw earlier in the game and a pattern you can expect at this level over and over again. Play to the middle, and as soon as she leans one direction, play to the now open spot on the table, which is the wide forehand. Excellent timing, Ding Ning taking that ball early for the wide angle. And again, a bold attempt as Swing Sha tries to go for the short side. Essentially an around the net attempt. Two big loops in a row. Swing Sha's racket speed just so high. Fans in the back giving their shout outs to you at home. A little wave to the camera as Ding Ning leads by 1 with her second serve here. Received trouble. Well-placed serve, half long to the forehand. And this is something that a lot of players have to develop with time, the confidence to flip, to get aggressive against the reverse tomahawk serve when it's half long. But that requires a really solid read and understanding of the spin on it. Clever idea, but swinging shot not able to find the table. Much better answer when given time on the backhand side. Knows how to generate the power. Tucks the wrist back into the stomach and snaps through to get a very wristy, powerful backhand. Better idea here, still not able to control. Ding Ning changing up the placement long into the backhand side of the body. And the receive game is going to be crucial for the rest of this match for Swing Sha. 3 game points for Ding Ning to take a 3-1 lead. And goes back to the push. Ding Ning has had a lot of success with that reverse tomahawk all over the table, but especially half long to the forehand. And here it is once again. It's a 3-1 lead for Ding Ning, world #1 over Swing Sha, the 44th seed in this tournament. Stick around, game 5 coming up after this. And as we come back for game 5, Ding Ning leading 3-1, a familiar score from last week in Japan when Swing Sha came back to win 3 games in a row and take the title. Can she repeat her performance here? Definitely a taller order against world #1 than anybody else in the world. But the first 2 points definitely moving in the right direction for Swing Sha.
Love 2.
Receive trouble once again, half long to the forehand from pendulum to reverse tomahawk. The third ball has been trouble. Much better response. Open face of the racket, reads the spin well. Doesn't try to put a lot of spin on it, just uses Ding Ning's spin and plays it deep into the body. For Ding Ning to get that last shot back. So much experience, anticipates, covers the wide forehand down the line. Ding Ning's so comfortable from her wide reach on both sides right now to even in the body. It's going to be difficult for Swing Sha. That's one way to do it. Turn the corner, play it deep to the backhand. We see the racket speed from Swing Sha. From the start of the match, she had it. Again, mostly the receive game has been the trouble. We'll see how these next 2 serves go. Last point, Swing Sha was able to flip to get set up. Once again, reverse tomahawk, deep to the backhand this time. still not a comfortable answer from Swinging Sha. From that camera angle, it appears that the ball was deep to the backhand once again. And a little bit less familiar to our TV viewers at home. The overhead bird's eye view. This is unfortunate for Swinging Sha to make such a wide shot to start. And the way the receive game's going, she's calling a timeout. She's going to have to take every point she can on her serve because she can't depend on getting points on the receive right now. Probably about 75% or so of the points that Ding Ning is serving, she's winning. Maybe even more. So a 16-year-old alone in the corner. And while her coach is watching her, right now her coach is looking stressed in the stands, just thinking, man, I wish I could be there to offer her some advice. But this is how it goes. Much like a parent watching their child on the field of play out there on the table. At a certain point, you just have to let them live and learn and deal with it. So what's it going to be? What's the answer for Swinging Sha on the receive? Sometimes taking a fast, long serve a little bit later, you read the spin better. And even though your shot isn't quite as threatening, the percentages go up. You can spin it, swinging, ready to come over the table and be ready for the deep backhand as well. One of the things that makes Ding Ning's reverse tomahawk serve so effective is that it's a similar motion and it can end up anywhere on the table. Speaking of anywhere on the table, Swinging Sha holding back for a moment and playing it inside out to the forehand. Takes her time with this. Completely fools Ding Ning. But again, receive trouble and Ding Ning stepping back into the lead. For me, this is the right idea. She does exactly what we were just talking about. Turns to see the ball a little bit longer and loop it. But again, has to read the spin just right. At this level of play, if you can read the spin, usually you're able to answer. There's that back-arching backhand. Swinging Sha with the big opening power within 1 point. Opening forehand is spinny, but Ding Ning stays closed and gives it back out wide. Ball really jumps out, accelerating off the bounce with Ding Ning's little flick of the wrist for extra topspin. Receive, receive, receive. You can already feel what the practice is going to be as soon as this match finishes. But what a difficult thing to practice. Where can you really get experience receiving Ding Ning serves except for against Ding Ning? Better receive, but not good enough to deter the third ball. It's predictable. Ding Ning turns the corner and earns herself 4 championship points. It could be the first defeat on the World Tour in the women's singles event for Swinging Sha. And it is a big win for Ding Ning, the first person to step up and put the foot down to stop Swinging Sha. And what a performance from the world champion. Once again, hand in the air, remains #1, taking a platinum World Tour event title here at the China Open. And you could see the stress relieved for just a moment as Swinging Sha has finally found her match. Not Liu Shiwen, not Chun Meng, but Ding Ning, the champion of the 2017 Women's Singles China Open. Enjoy the highlights and stick around. We've got an all-German battle, and it's an exciting one that's always close. It's Timo Boll versus Dmitry Ovcharov coming up right after this. Stay here.